There are cricketers who score runs, and then there are cricketers who become the heartbeat of a nation. Sachin Tendulkar was not merely a batsman, he was an emotion, a prayer whispered in crowded living rooms, a reason for silence on noisy Indian streets. When he walked out to bat, millions paused their lives. Shops turned up televisions, radios crackled with hope. For over 2 decades, he stood at the crease like a guardian of dreams. This is not just the story of a cricketer. It is the story of discipline, sacrifice, genius, pressure, and grace. It is the story of a boy from Mumbai who carried a billion expectations and never let them fall. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar was born on April 24, 1973 in Mumbai, India. His father, Ramesh Tendulkar, was a respected Marathi novelist and professor. A gentle, thoughtful man, he named his son after his favorite music director, Sachin Dev Burman. Perhaps it was destiny that a child named after a legend would one day become one himself. As a child, Sachin was energetic and mischievous. Cricket was not immediately his destiny. He loved tennis and admired John McEnroe. But his elder brother, Ajit Tendulkar, noticed something extraordinary. Ajit saw how naturally young Sachin handled a bat. He saw timing, balance, instinct, qualities that cannot be taught. Ajit took him to the legendary coach Ramakant Achrekar at Shivaji Park in Mumbai. Achrekar watched the small boy bat. At first, Sachin was nervous and did not perform well. Ajit quietly requested the coach to observe from behind a tree so the boy would not feel pressured. Hidden from view, Achrekar saw brilliance. That day changed Indian cricket forever. Under Achrekar's guidance, Sachin's life transformed. Practice sessions began early and ended late. Achrekar believed in repetition. If Sachin put out early in a practice match, he was sent to another ground to bat again. The idea was simple. Play more, learn more, improve more. There is a famous story about a 1 rupee coin. Achrekar would place a coin on the stumps and challenge bowlers to dismiss Sachin. If they succeeded, they kept the coin. If they failed, Sachin earned it. Those coins became his first trophies. Years later, he said those coins were more precious than any metal. By the age of 14, Sachin was already making headlines in school cricket. In 1988, he and his friend Vinod Kambli put together a 664-run partnership in a school match. It was unbelievable. Newspapers began to speak of a prodigy. The boy was no longer just a student. He was becoming a phenomenon. In 1989, at just 16 years old, Sachin was selected to represent India on a tour of Pakistan. Imagine the pressure. Facing him were fierce fast bowlers like Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus. He was a schoolboy standing before giants. In one match, a bouncer hit him on the nose. Blood flowed. The crowd expected him to retire hurt. Instead, he wiped the blood, adjusted his helmet, and continued batting. That moment defined him. He was fearless. Though he did not score a century on that tour, experts saw his courage and technique. The world knew a star was rising. In 1990, at Manchester against England, Sachin scored his first Test century, 119 not out. He was just 17. It was not a flashy innings, it was mature and calm. He saved the match for India. Commentators were amazed at how composed he looked. Soon after, he scored centuries in Australia on fast, bouncy pitches. The Australian crowd, known for its tough standards, applauded him. When legends praise you at 18, you know you are special. His straight drive became poetry. His cover drive became art. Bowlers planned strategies. Sachin responded with timing and grace. In the 1990s, Indian cricket depended heavily on him. The team was rebuilding. Many matches seemed to rest entirely on his shoulders. When he got out early, television sets were switched off. When he batted long, celebrations erupted. He did not ask for this responsibility, it simply came to him. The 1996 Cricket World Cup saw him emerge as the tournament's highest run scorer. Though India did not win, Sachin became the face of hope.
Fame followed him everywhere. Advertisements, interviews, public appearances, yet he remained humble. He credited his parents and coach. He focused on cricket, not celebrity.
In 1998, during a tournament in Sharjah, he produced 2 unforgettable innings against Australia. A sandstorm interrupted play, but what followed was even more dramatic. Sachin attacked Shane Warne and the Australian bowlers with fearless stroke play. Those back-to-back centuries became known as the Desert Storm. Even Australian players admitted they had never seen batting like that. Warne later said he had nightmares about bowling to Sachin. When great bowlers speak like that, it is respect earned through excellence. Sachin was made captain of India twice. However, captaincy did not suit him as well as batting. The team struggled. Critics began to question him. But this is where his greatness shines. He stepped down gracefully and focused on what he did best, scoring runs. He proved that leadership is not only about titles, it is about performance and example. In 1995, Sachin married Anjali Mehta, a pediatrician. She came from a different background, but their bond was strong. Anjali sacrificed much of her medical career to support his cricket journey. They had 2 children, Sara and Arjun. Arjun later pursued cricket, following his father's path. Despite global fame, Sachin valued family above everything. He often said that without Anjali's support, his career would not have been possible. In 1999, during the World Cup in England, Sachin's father passed away. He flew back to India for the funeral. The nation mourned with him. Yet, he returned to England and scored a century against Kenya, dedicating it to his father. He looked up at the sky after reaching his 100. It was a moment of emotion beyond sport. That innings showed his mental strength and love for his family. Every long career faces obstacles. Sachin suffered from tennis elbow in the early 2000s. The injury threatened his batting. Critics wondered if his best years were over. But champions fight. He adjusted his technique. He trained harder. Slowly, he returned to form. In 2004, he scored a brilliant 241 not out in Sydney, showing patience and discipline by avoiding risky shots. It was not just talent, it was intelligence and maturity. Over time, records began to fall. Most test runs, most ODI runs, most international centuries. First player to score a double century in ODI cricket, 200 not out against South Africa in 2010. Each milestone was celebrated not only in India, but across the cricketing world. Yet, when asked about records, he always said, "I play for the team." The one trophy missing from his cabinet was the Cricket World Cup. In 2011, India hosted the tournament. Sachin was 37 years old. It was likely his last chance. He scored crucial runs throughout the tournament. When India reached the final against Sri Lanka in Mumbai, the entire country prayed. India won. Though he did not score heavily in the final, his teammates carried him on their shoulders around the ground. Virat Kohli famously said, "He carried the burden of the nation for 21 years. It was time we carried him." It was a fairy tale ending. In 2013, Sachin announced his retirement from international cricket. His final test was at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. The stadium was full. Emotions were high. When he delivered his farewell speech, his voice trembled. He thanked his parents, his wife, his children, his coach, his teammates, and the fans. There were tears in the stands. There were tears in homes across India. An era ended. After retirement, Sachin remained active in social causes. He was nominated to the Rajya Sabha, India's upper house of parliament. He supported education and health initiatives. He also mentored young cricketers and promoted sports development. In 2014, he was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award. He became the youngest recipient. Statistics explain greatness, but they do not fully capture it. What made Sachin special? Consistency for 24 years, humility despite unmatched fame,
discipline from childhood to retirement, respect for the game. He played in an era without advanced protective gear or modern fitness science. He faced the best bowlers from every generation. He was not just a batsman, he was hope during economic struggles. He was pride during political challenges. He was unity in diversity. Today, young cricketers grow up watching highlights of his straight drive. Coaches show his technique as a model. Fans still chant his name. But beyond records and trophies, Sachin Tendulkar represents something deeper. The idea that greatness is built on hard work, humility, and heart. From a small boy at Shivaji Park to a global icon, his journey teaches us that dreams are not achieved in a day. They are built ball by ball, run by run, year by year. When future generations ask, who was Sachin Tendulkar? The answer will be simple. He was the boy who carried a billion dreams and made them believe.